Welcome everyone to Friday's Inspiration here on both Facebook and Instagram. I am excited about today's clearing because I've been a little disheartened by everything that's going on the planet in California. I think that they said that there's 290,000 acres on fire right now in California. And then there's fires in Oregon. It's really quite disheartening. And because of this, it's made my heart very heavy and very sad. And so as a result, I started to do some independent just clearings on my own with the planet. And I noticed that after doing that, when I grounded to the earth, I felt it just felt much better bringing that earth energy up through our legs. So as a big part of the energy clearing that we do, a really powerful and important part of that is connecting to the earth. But if the earth doesn't feel safe, if the earth doesn't feel, um, like a secure place to ground to, then we're not going to feel secure or grounded. And so this is why I wanted to do what we're going to do today, which is uh, healing our earth. She gives so much to us, and yet it just feels like it's time to give back. It's time to give back and create a really secure foundation, not only for us, but also so that she feels much happier and more joyful. When I was working on the fires in Australia, one of the big things I noticed was how much rage was in those fires. And I would say that that is certainly the case with the fires here in California, Oregon, wherever they are. And I can't prove that this is the case, but I believe and have measured that these fires are being purposely set. If you'll notice on the maps how where they strategically are, it's designed to create a lot of smoke in the very densely populated areas and just in general. And so I was beginning to think of how this could play out in the future. I knew they were going to be rolling out fires again. I mentioned that. And as well as this next wave of the pandemic, scamdemic, whatever they have planned with that, whether it's more coronavirus, bigger and more dangerous, or if they're going to introduce something else, we don't know. But one thing that I do know is about physiology and how it works is that our body creates a virus in response to toxins. So as we're breathing in all of this toxic air, you can bet that our body is going to fight off these toxins by creating viruses in the body to help combat and clear the toxins. That's how the body works. So it's going to be no surprise that there's going to be more positive tests, especially where the fires have been and the smoke and all those toxins in the air. So it's time to start doing some clearing for the planet. And this is also the thing that excites me about this is that not only all of you who are showing up here live are going to benefit from this, because we're also going to do a clearing for us afterwards, because then we'll have a really grounded place to connect to, and you'll see if you notice the difference. But also everybody listening to this out in the future is also going to be not only healing themselves, but also creating more healing for the planet. So it's going to be cumulative. And we are responsible, if we're going to be accountable for everything that we create, and as a collective consciousness, we are creating what's on the planet. Now, that may be hard to accept or hard to swallow or hard to believe or whatever, but once we start being more responsible for everything we create, then we realize that the collective consciousness is creating much of this chaos. It has created this 1% reptilian energies that are oppressing the planet, because it's manifesting all the fears that we have in our energy field, all the worry, anxiety, and anger and rage that we have. And it's sort of like you know, a snowball, and it keeps accumulating and getting bigger and more. And so it's time to start creating some healing for the planet so that we can start to feel safe. So the way that we're going to do this today is we're going to apply the same system of running your energy that we do for ourselves. We're going to do that same thing to our planet Earth. So we're going to create an avatar that represents our planet Earth. And of course, the planet Earth can't ground to herself, so we're going to be grounding the planet Earth to the center of the galaxy, or intentionally intending it for it to go to wherever it needs to be transmuted into something that's more beneficial. Because these energies can't be destroyed, but they can be transmuted and converted. And so that's what we're going to be doing with some of the energies that are actually on the planet itself. Because we're going to be clearing the aura of the planet as well. But just below the surface of the Earth is a very, very dark energy. The reptilians actually, about 3 miles down, this is where the inhabitants of the reptilians actually live. You can believe that or not. It doesn't really matter. But we're going to be clearing that energy as well. And we're not going to be trying to eliminate these energies. We're going to be doing something that is even more powerful. We're going to be working on transmuting that. So what we're going to do is, after we run the energy through the avatar that represents our planet Earth, and we clear all the layers of the aura, we're going to take the energy of the 40th layer of the Earth's aura. The 40th layer is where oneness exists, unconditional love, and we're going to bring that energy into the Earth, and we're going to use that energy to start transmuting those layers beneath the Earth that are radiating out and creating or contributing to so much of the chaos that's on the planet. So I haven't done this as a public thing. I've done it in private with myself, one other person. And so I really have no idea what's going to happen, but I know that it certainly can't hurt. And I do know that collectively, that when there were so many people working on the fires in Australia, when those were completely out of control, that the energy work that everyone was doing collectively contributed to record rains that fell there. So in addition to healing the earth, we're also going to be activating the elemental rain beings so that they can potentially start putting out the fires. We're just starting to get into, well, it's not rainy season yet. This is still supposed to be fall, but if you see the skies here, it's nowhere near. But usually the end of October is when we start having rains here in California. So we're just going to see what we can do. That's all we can do, right? Is we just do the best we can and keep giving and contributing to a better planet, a better future. And so I'm grateful that all of you are here joining live today, and also for those of you who listen to this out into the future. And every time you listen to this, you'll be contributing to the healing of our planet. So the way we're going to do this is you're going to imagine a person standing out in front of you. This person has legs, arms, chakras, and aura. And this person is going to represent our planet Earth, our mother. So I want you to imagine that this person has a really good grounding cord that goes all the way to the center in this case, it will be to the center of our galaxy. And that's going to be her grounding cord. So we're just going to start releasing. And just notice what you notice. You can feel a lot of energies going down that grounding cord. Great. So we're just breathing and releasing, and you might notice some sensations in your own body as we're doing this. And so the crows seem to be giving their approval. So next we're going to send roots that go, where would the roots go? See, since this is new for me, the roots of our planet Earth, let's send those. I'm getting a message that we would send that to the central sun, our central sun, wherever that is. Just imagine or intend that you know where that is. And so we're going to connect the roots of the Earth to the central sun. And we're going to start bringing that powerful high vibration of energy up through the roots of this Earth, of the legs of this avatar that represents the Earth. Okay, great. And then next we're going to see if the Earth has a worry circle. So ideally there is no worry circle. I'm glad this feels good, see. Yes, there is congestion that goes out to the third layer. So that's that fear of stepping into her power. She's feeling powerless. This is what I really noticed the other day, and a lot of energy in the heart. We'll see when we get there. So we're going to pull in her worry circle, and we're going to just send it down that grounding cord. And great. And so I checked the other day, and the Earth has 50 creative rings above her head, above the head of this avatar. And so we're going to bring in full body chills when the Earth was grounded to the sun. Thanks for sharing. Yeah. So we're going to start bringing pure source energy down through her creative rings, all 50 rings, because we all want the same thing. The Earth wants the same thing. We all come from abundance. We all want to experience abundance, peace of mind, joy, and harmony. So as we're bringing pure source down through these rings, great. This energy is coming down into her crown now, but it's stopping there because she doesn't really have permission to be in her joyful self. And just a little distracted here. There's a bee. I noticed the bees are struggling too. There's kind of twirling on his back and flipping over, and he's confused. Everyone's confused right now. So as we bring this energy into the crown, it's stopping there. So there's a circle of energy here. Let's go out to the third layer where she doesn't have her permission to really fully thrive right now. So we're going to pull in this ring, and we're going to drop it down through the central core of this avatar. Great. And okay, there we go. So now that's coming down through that central core, going all the way down that grounding cord. So now as pure source is coming down through the rings and into the crown, it's still stopping there. Just checking to see what that is. Hey, Alex, thanks for joining us. Okay, well, let's do it again. She's having a hard time getting permission to be, just to even be. So let's, we're going to gently intend for this circle that is preventing her permission. So we're talking about planet Earth. As we pull in this circle above her head, we're just going to make it smaller and smaller as we're sending all of that energy down through the central core and grounding it to the center of the Earth. Not to the center of the Earth, the center of the galaxy. I'm a little on autopilot here. Or the center of the central sun. Wherever it goes. This is the first time I've done this, so. Okay, good. So now it's pulled in. It's slowly coming in. It's out to the second layer where there's a lot of rage. Yes, she's angry. And look at all the fires. That's her manifesting the anger that's on the planet. So we'll just keep sending all of that rage down through that central core, down that grounding cord. And thank you everyone who was willing to do this today and show up and contribute to the healing of our planet. Okay, great. Okay, so that circle is all the way in, but it's getting stuck on the way down. So let's just clear that again. Here we go. Okay, good. So now we can bring Pure Source down through the crown, into that sixth chakra, down into her throat where it's stopping. She doesn't feel like she has a voice, so we're going to go out to that third layer. I can hear her. Maybe you can too. You can hear how sad she feels and disheartened. This Earth is a living entity. I didn't mention that in case you didn't know. In case you didn't know, Earth is a living being. So we're just pulling this energy in at the throat. More rage, more unexpressed rage. So the fires, that's one way of her expressing her rage. And if we're listening to her and we acknowledge that we hear by doing this, that we hear and feel how much rage and anger she has for people not taking care of her, for taking advantage of her, for abusing her, that we understand why she's so angry. So we're just sending all that rage down through the central core. And then as we're bringing this pure source down into her heart, this is where it's stopping again. I might get emotional. Whew. Feeling her sadness. Let's go out to the third layer where she is feeling powerless. Her heart feels very powerless right now. And as we send this in, thank you, Roma. Monica, Bess, thanks for showing up. Ooh, that's a lot of pain in her heart right there. And as we're doing this for the earth, I would venture to say you're also healing these spaces in yourself as well. That we all have a lot of maybe sadness and heavy hearts about what we see going on. And so we just let all that energy drop down through that central core, down the grounding. As we bring Pure Source down through the heart, down into her solar plexus, where it's stopping again, because she feels very powerless. Let's go out to that third layer, both front and back of this avatar that we're clearing. And we're going to pull in that energy at the solar plexus and just send it down the grounding cord. There we go. Great, sending that all the way down. As we're bringing pure source down through the solar plexus, down into that second chakra, where it's stopping again. And this is where there's more rage. The second chakra processes a lot of emotions, and so there's a lot of rage in here. So we're just going to send that down the grounding. Maybe you've been feeling rage yourself. And normal, natural, and if we're not using it to do something, like this is me doing something because I feel what's going on and something needs to be done about it. And so, maybe you can consider what you're doing to help contribute in some way using that anger as a motivation. Otherwise, you need to release the anger because it's not serving you. It's just depleting your nervous system and feels horrible. And it's really not necessary to continue to hold the anger. It doesn't really serve us. We let it go, and then we can be in those higher vibrations. Because this 1% energy, which we have created, but nonetheless it's still here, they want us to continue to be angry because that's what they feed on. So we don't want to be their food. Just saying. So as pure source is coming down through this second chakra, down into the root, spilling down that grounding cord. Excellent. So now we're going to mix these two energies. The energy that's coming up through her legs. So in this case, she's grounded to the central sun. So that high vibrational energy that's coming up through her legs, and the energy of pure source that's coming down the back side. Where those two meet at the root, we're going to bring that up the front of this avatar that represents the earth, real close to her spine. So it's stopping right at that second chakra. More rage. So we're just going to send that rage down the grounding. Send that rage down the grounding. Excellent. Okay, great. So now as we go back to bringing this 50-50 mixture up through that central core, real close to the spine, up through that second and the third. Good. It's coming up through that solar plexus, up into her heart. Great. Up into the throat. Awesome. Still flowing. Up into that sixth chakra, out the crown, out through all of her rings. And then it's going to cascade like a big fountain out through all the layers of her aura. And then when it gets below her feet, it merges with that grounding cord. So the layers of the aura have a place to release. We're going to jump out to the third layer. We're going to start at the top. This is the layer that's connected to the solar plexus. And more of that powerless energy. So around her throat, where she doesn't feel like she has a voice. And so, all the tornadoes and hurricanes, which I also believe they that 1% energy, you don't have to believe this, I believe this, that they control the weather, that they've stolen Tesla's technologies, the HARP technology, and they're building more of those massive antennas. That's all used to manipulate the atmosphere, which changes currents in the atmosphere and pressure, and it all is how they manipulate the weather. So let's clear this third layer because she feels powerless over all of this. Then we're going to jump out to the 15th layer, but we're going to start at the bottom, and we're going to lift this energy up, and we're going to lift it up through this entire layer, and then when it gets above her head, we're going to send it off planet, meaning off this off of this atmosphere, away from here to the center of the galaxy, where it can be transmuted and converted into something more useful, more beneficial. Then we're going to jump out to the 30th layer and do the same thing. This is where the reptilian energies live and hang out. So we're just going to lift that energy up. Excellent. And same thing, we'll just send that off planet to the center of the galaxy. And then we're going to ground the 40th layer, but we're going to start at the top. So this is where oneness is. This is where the alliance that it is actually watching over everything, the good guys that have our back. And this is another reason why I have confidence that while it may not be okay and turn out great for everyone, in general, the planet is going to survive, and those who are in these higher vibrations that are aligned with this new incoming golden age, these are the ones who are going to be contributing to what's going forward. All the darkness is falling away right now. And it's so ironic that, I was born and raised as a Jehovah's Witness. This is partly why none of this stuff freaks me out. My whole life, I've been waiting for Armageddon. My whole life. As a little child, 5, 6 years old, we used to look at these books that were supposed to be children's books, but they had pictures of Armageddon with the earth cracked wide open and cars falling in and people, and everything was on fire, and it's kind of like what's going on right now. So my whole life as a Jehovah's Witness, I was a witness for 38 years. I believed that that was just what was going to happen. And so I've been out for 20 years, but I think it's pretty ironic that this is what we see. It's almost like Armageddon in slow motion. But I think it's going to turn out very different than what Jehovah's Witnesses thought. And it's going to be interesting that who's still standing after all of this is over. So not to have any worries, though. We have all the tools so that we don't have to worry about what's going on. Okay, so we've grounded this 20th layer. And so now, this 20th layer, I want you to connect with this 20th layer. That's all about this high vibrational, unconditional love. And we're going to start bringing this love through all the layers of her aura, so that this love can start to permeate. So we're going to start counting backwards. So we're starting at 40, 39, 38, 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31, 30. This is where the reptilians hang out. So we're just going to use this high vibration of love to transmute any remaining energies in this 30th layer. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. This is where the fear entities hang out. So let's rev up the love energy in this layer, this 25th layer. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. In our aura, the 20th layer is the most powerful part of our energy field. This is where our awakened predator, our innate warrior, lives and hangs out. The most powerful part of our layer that has 360 degrees of awareness and access to 360 senses. So this is a really powerful layer. So we're just going to amplify that with some more high vibrational love. Okay, great. So that's 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15 is where the 1% hang out. So let's rev up this layer. 15, 14, 13, 12 through 10 is where the angels hang out and ascended masters, etc., spiritual realm. So 13, 12, 11, 10. Let's ramp up these 10 through 12 layers with this high vibrational love. Okay, great. And then 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. The fourth layer wants some love. This fourth layer connects to her heart. So let's rev this up, this layer up. Fourth layer, amplifying the love energy, unconditional love. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then the surface of the earth, a lot of chaos there, and the atmosphere around it. So now we're going to start amplifying this love energy into the surface of the earth and below the surface of the earth. So we're going to start going by miles. So 1, 2, 3. This is where the reptilian energy starts. So we're just going to start sending this love energy down there and to transmute this energy. This is like kryptonite for them. So just intend to hold this space, this energy of transmutation. Using the energy of love. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to count by fives. 15, 20, 25, 30. So at 30 miles into the earth, it wants more love. So let's amplify this love energy. 30 layers, 30 miles below the earth. $30, $35, $40, $45, $50, $55, $60, $65, $70, $75, $80, $85, $90. There's more energy here, 90 miles below the surface of the earth. So transmuting apparently doesn't need a grounding cord. It just changes the energy. The crow agrees. Okay, good. 90, 95, 100. Now I count by tens. 110, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 200 miles. 210, 20, 30. 230 miles below the surface of the earth wants more love. So right at 400 miles is where the center of the Earth's crust is. That's where the gravity is at its highest peak. So 230, 240, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 300, and 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So at 350 miles, there's more energy that wants to be transmuted. So if you're just coming on, we are transmuting these energies inside of the Earth's crust. Let's see, where are we? 230 or 330? 330, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 400, 410, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 500, and 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 600, and 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 700, and 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I felt some there yesterday too. So at 750 miles into the Earth's core, I think this is the last little bit of energy that wants to be transmuted. So we're just sending this high vibration of unconditional love into the crust of the planet, 750 miles in. Just hear her saying thank you. Okay. 50, 6, 7, 800. So that's the Earth's crust, is about 800 miles thick. And so the rest of that is clear. So that feels a lot better. I don't know about you. So the last thing that we're going to do, and those two crows just took off, the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to get grounded now. Now it's going to feel safe. And just notice if it feels any different when we ground to the planet Earth now. So I want you, and the more of us that are high vibrational, that are grounding to the Earth, that's also going to help amplify her energies. It's like having little hairs or little antennas, on the surface of the skin, and those are all at high vibrations, like we're little antennas. So we're extensions of her. So let's get grounded, us. So now we, personally, we can each imagine our own grounding cord that goes from the base of our spine all the way through all of that Earth's crust, through those 800 miles, where it then opens up into this hollow cavity. And then at the center, which is 4,000 miles, to the center of the Earth is the central sun of the planet, the interior planet. We are little antennas, we are. And so we're going to ground to that central sun in the center of our Earth, that high vibrational energy. And we're going to start pulsing that energy out to fill that Earth's cavity and make it even, just match that high vibration there. And then we're going to send roots down from our feet, because we are made of the same stuff as this planet Earth. Let's send our roots down through the Earth's crust, all the way to the other side, out the other side, and then we're going to wrap all the way around our planet Earth. I don't know, does it feel different to you? The crow thinks so. From here, we're going to start bringing this abundant, joyful Earth energy up through our legs. There we go. Maybe that feels a little safer now. Whew. Through our knees, up through our thighs, and then down our grounding. And so that becomes like a circle of energy up our legs, continuing to release down our grounding. It does feel joyful, yes. Awesome. You're welcome, Joellen. Just getting to some of these, yes, the crows do have magical energy. Getting to some of the Facebook messages here. Thank you, everyone. Hi, Luca, all the way from Egypt. Nice to have you here. And so we're bringing this energy up through the legs. Hey, Tammy, Parvati, and hey, Bobby. Oh, they're ravens, not crows. Thanks for the correction, Tara. Um, Magical, still magical beings. Yes, they are. Okay, so now we're going to pull in our worry circle. And we have no worry circle today. Da-da! That's great. See, ideally, we will have no worry circle. So now that we're connected to this earth that's at this high vibration, happy, joyful, then we're not going to have any worries, right? This is how all this works. It is amazing. So let's bring pure source down through our creative rings, even if you don't know how many you have, down through our creative rings, down through our crown, and our 6 and our 5 at the throat. So it's stopping at the throat. Let's go out to that third layer. Maybe you're feeling a lot like the earth, like you don't have a voice, nobody's listening, we can't complain. It's just the way it is. Well, it's not just the way it is. Look what we're doing today. We're making a difference. All of us here. This is not just me. This is a collective effort that's happening. So as we bring in this energy, where were we? 7? Oh, at the throat. That's right. The train in the background. You hear that? Okay, so we're pulling in this energy that feels like we don't have a voice. As we're bringing pure source down through our throat, and when our throat is clear, we can hear all the subtle ways the universe, the earth, planet, spirit is talking to us. And there's always little validations, like that little train. It was a validation. For me, that's how I operate. It's always talking to me. Okay, good. So we're bringing pure source down through the throat, down into our heart and our solar plexus. So it's stopping there. The, the Trump train. We're stopping at the solar plexus and we're going out to the third layer because many of you are still feeling powerless. So let's pull in this powerless energy. We are not powerless. We are actually very powerful. And I will give a plug for my book, which is outlines this whole system that we're doing here. Just went to the editors to format it for printing. So it's finished, it's getting printed, and it's going to be ready for you in about 4 weeks, maybe less if we're lucky. For my birthday, that would be awesome, which is at the end of this month. We are very, very powerful. And so as we bring pure source down through the solar plexus, down into that second chakra, spilling down our root, excellent. We're going to mix these two energies, the energy coming up through the legs with that pure source coming down the backside. We're going to bring it up the front, real close to the spine, through the second and the third and the fourth and the fifth. 6 crown rings. Look at you guys rocking and rolling. Excellent. And then it's going to cascade down through all the layers of our aura. That's funny. Through all the layers of our aura. Let's pay special attention to the third layer where there might be more of that powerless energy, especially around our solar plexus. The fact that we know how to do this is how we access our power. So I've been giving these tools, not for me, but for you, for all of you. And so this is what we're doing here. This is what the book is about. So really excited to have this finally available. Okay, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's do the 15th layer. We're going to start at the bottom, lifting that 1% energy out of our energy field. And I've noticed that lately, it's just at the top of this layer, like at the crown and sixth chakra, where it's trying to push down on our permission and affecting our beliefs, how we think. So they're coming out of our space. They're not really infiltrating as far as they used to. That's good news, right? Eventually, they won't even be in our aura at all. The 20th layer wants to be grounded. This is that powerful part of our awakened predator. Let's start at the top, and we're going to just bring this energy, so right around the heart, our awakened predator. Excellent. And okay, so we were I think we were I get mixed up sometimes. So we were clearing the 15th layer. Okay, great. Oh no, we were grounding the 20th, sorry. Okay, there we are. Right. Okay, good. And then 20. I'm going to jump out to the 30th layer. That's the reptilian energy. So starting at the bottom. And I have illustrations in my book so that you can just look at the illustrations and know which direction to go. Some go up, some go down. It can be confusing, but the illustrations will help. 30th layer with the reptilians, go up and off planet as we send that off planet above our heads. Yes. Whew. And then the 40th layer, the layer of oneness where the alliance exists, wants to get grounded, but we're going to start at the top. So we ground all of that energy into our energy field, into the planet Earth. Excellent. And then let's check our circle of reciprocity. Those upper 4 chakras, heart, throat, sixth, crown, and all of your rings are going to come out your right arm. So receiving starts with giving first. As we bring that energy out that right arm, it's the masculine giving side. Then we balance it with the feminine. So we put those hands together, and then we bring that energy in that left hand. It's blocked right at the wrist. You're the one that allows receiving. It's not about other people not giving to you. So as we bring that up through the shoulder, front and back of the heart, throat, six, crown, rings. Ta-da! One last thing I want to do for all of you, because I've noticed this has been really helpful for me, is to make sure that our amusement is high. And then you can start having some more humor and not taking everything so seriously, because really everything is going to be fine. Maybe not for everyone. I get that. But as long as we're doing our work, then, and we're sharing this with as many people who will listen, that's really all we can do. It's up to them. That's their karma. That's their lessons. That's their path. If they want to come on board and be in high vibration, and that's what are you gonna do, right? That's up to them. So we'll just keep sharing. So amusement. Well, let's check unconditional love first. It's at 100%, so great job. And joy, 100%, great. Let's check amusement. Yeah, see, it's only at 50%. So, and it's if you're not feeling so amused, this is where you'll find it. I'll just double check, but this is where I've always been finding it so far. Yes, down in the root, out to that 3rd layer. So that's where you don't feel powerful. It doesn't feel safe to step in your power. That's just all that serious energy. So let's pull in all that serious energy, and we're just going to drop it down the grounding cord so it can get transmuted into some joy and fun and excitement, adventures, humor, laughter. Whew, okay, good. So amusement is now at 100%. Yay! All right. Well, I'm going to send you off to enjoy a fabulous weekend. In spite of everything, it's okay to be amused and to be in a high vibration. Like, give yourself permission for that. Just because everyone else is miserable doesn't mean you have to join them. Give yourself permission to be in joy and this unconditional love that we can just spread everywhere, like the hummingbirds. All right, sending much love, friends. Thank you all for joining me today. Share this with your friends so that they can help heal the planet as well. And go back and listen to this again if you ever feel inspired to heal our planet Earth. I forgot one thing. I just remembered. We were going to activate the elemental rain beings. Let's do that. Let's do this. Now that we're all in a high vibe, let's do this. Okay, so we're going to just put up an avatar for the rain beings, all right, for the elemental rain beings. And they don't even have a grounding cord. Okay, so let's give them a grounding cord, these rain beings. Okay, there we go. And we're going to bring earth energy up through the legs. Okay, that's good. We can do this a lot faster. It does have a worry circle, so pull that in from the third layer, sending that down the grounding. And as we bring pure source down through the rings of the elemental rain beings, they have 50 rings too. So we're going to bring pure source down through their rings so that they can start putting out the fires, cleaning the air, nourishing all the plants. Excellent. So coming down through the rings and the crown. So it stops right at the crown. They don't have permission to even rain. So let's go out to the third layer. We're going to pull in these rings here. Whew. I'm going to pull in that circle, that permission circle. So the rain beings have permission to reign, to do what they do, right? So coming in through the crown, 6, 5, 4, 3. So right at the solar plexus where they don't feel their power. Out to the third layer. I'm going to pull that in. Whew. You're welcome, Monica. So coming down through the solar plexus, second chakra, spilling down the root. Then we mix it together, bring it up the front. So this is for the avatar that represents the elemental rain beings. So up through the second and the third, where it's stopping again. Let's go out to the third layer out in front so that these beings feel powerful and they can do their job with joy. Whew. So up through the solar plexus, heart, throat, 6 crown rings, aura, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 15th layer, 1% is messing with the rain beings. So we're going to pull that energy up through the 15th layer. Just the 1%, not even the reptilians. Okay, good. Circle of reciprocity, so she can give, they can give, all those beings. Into the left hand, through the front and back of the heart, throat, 6 crown rings. And one thing I want to check with these rain beings is that they don't have any anger. So that when they rain, they don't get like too crazy, right? So this avatar, that anger is at 15%. So let's bring that down to 0. We're going to go to the root chakra of the avatar of the rain beings, out to that third layer, and we're going to pull that anger in and send it down the grounding. Whew. So that she can give gentle, effective rains that clean the air, put out the fires, nourish everybody. Okay, so now that feels good. Now I feel like I can send you off and I didn't forget anything. Okay, well, go off and enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you here on Tuesday where we do a live pop-up Q&A. I can answer your questions live and do a little live clearing for total strangers. That's who I love clearing the best, working with the most on here live, as people I have no idea who you are, anything about you. So show up on Tuesday, and until then, keep asking my favorite question. How? How does it get any better than this? And then stay in that blissful question of, I wonder. Sending much love. Namaste. Bye.